landlords skirt the rules?
You, as a landlord, cannot evict them. And I think that you knew that.
I didn't evict anyone. I put a pay or vacate, which is different from eviction.
I don't think that you could do that.
This is Judge Judy. Stephen Davis is suing his former tenant, Jade Packer, for unpaid rent and property damage.
Judge, this is case number 129 on the calendar in the matter of Davis versus Packer. Parties have been sworn in.
Mr. Davis, you have a rental property. The defendant in December of last year signed a one-year lease. She moved into the apartment, I assume, in December. The rent on the apartment was $999 a month. It was a basement apartment, and she paid you a $999 security deposit. Is all of that correct?
Yes, it is.
She paid rent in January of $999?
Yeah, she paid the rent, plus there is a...
Just answer my question.
Yes.
She paid in January $999.
Plus utilities.
In
yes.
February, she paid you rent of $999.
Right.
What about in March?
March was paid.
She paid you $999.
Yes.
What about in April?
April was paid.
What about in May? Properties do you have?
4.
And you are aware of the prohibition against eviction for lack of payment of rent during COVID?
Yes, for COVID-related reasons, yes, you cannot evict a person.
Just a second. You are aware of the moratorium on eviction for non-payment of rent during COVID?
Right, yes.
That's a yes or a no?
Yes.
And when the defendant called you, because now she's paid up April, May, now we're into June, when she called you and told you that she had lost her job, she had reduced hours, but then she lost her job, what day was that in either May or June?
That she phoned me?
Yes.
I don't have the date of when she called me. I don't have a recollection
Okay.
of that conversation.
Okay. Is what you're telling me she never called you to tell you she wasn't paying June's rent?
That's how I understand it, yes.
So she did not pay you June's rent?
Correct.
And you put a 3-day notice to quit on her door. On
Yeah.
what date?
I told her I was going to post that on June 13th, and no, that was...
June, just a second. When you told her that you were going to post that on June 13th, did she in that conversation...
a text chain here that mentions nothing about a job loss.
May I see it?
Sure. So right here you can see where I've highlighted. And
Just a second.
Yeah, okay.
Just a sec. Don't highlight anything for me. I can read.
All right, all right.
I need the rent. If I don't get at least half by 5 p.m. Friday, I will post a 3-day notice to vacate. That gives you 3 business days to either vacate or pay the rent in full. Now, you knew that you weren't permitted to do that.
No, that is not my understanding.
Okay, can we get together this week and make arrangements for you to vacate the apartment? Of course, you can stay, but you need to get current on the rent. Either one needs to happen by the end of the month. I won't make you pay June rent if you get your stuff out by June 30th and clean the place. I won't make you pay June's rent. Well, that you're sending her in June, Mr. Davis, and my understanding is you already had June's rent or enough to cover June's rent by her security.
Well, the security deposit went to...
No. I didn't ask you what it went for. I'm talking about you're gratuitously saying to her, if you get out by June 30th, you won't have to pay June's rent. You and I both know that based upon what you wrote to her, you were keeping June's rent because with her and only 6 months were up, and you weren't going to return her security deposit to her because you didn't mention her security deposit.
Right.
So we know that.
Yes.
We know that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not a landlord. I'm a judge. I don't have rental property, but I know people who have more than one rental unit.
Right.
Understand, because I've been doing this now for 25 years.
Holy crow.
So you weren't being really nice to her by saying, as long as you leave the place neat, I won't charge you for June's rent if you're out by June 30th, because you already had her June's rent in security, which you weren't returning to her. You weren't giving her a free month's rent.
Well, I would have returned the security deposit.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You wouldn't have. I know you wouldn't have. You know you wouldn't have. And what you did by posting a 3-day notice to her for non-payment of rent, when she had really faithfully paid her rent for the first 6 months, you know was the wrong thing. You know that if you took her to court to evict her, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Now I finished with him for a second because he's suing for a whole bunch of unpaid rent and property damage. So he already has your security deposit. You moved out in July.
The first week of July.
What date in July?
I don't remember the exact date. I know it was in the first week because I couldn't get a truck to move all my stuff out. So it was to get all my stuff out.
Where had you been working?
Northeastern Services.
Until what date were you working there?
I think June 10th.
Did you start to collect unemployment?
No.
Why not?
Because my company said that I didn't lose my job due to COVID.
What did you lose your job over?
I lose my job because of COVID. I don't know why they told them that.
So you didn't get unemployment. If you don't get unemployment, that means that you quit your job.
I didn't quit. I did leave my job, but it was for COVID reasons.
Well, explain that to me. So you left your job. You didn't get fired.
I didn't go in because most of our houses were being shut down for COVID because I worked with residential. And so they were getting shut down for COVID, and there was nowhere for me to go. So they were going to try to have me quarantine with the clients for over 2 weeks, and I have a 4-year-old son that I couldn't do it.
Okay, got it. Does your 4-year-old son live with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to show me pictures, Mr. Davis, of what you allege the damage is that the defendant did that was in excess of her security deposit.
Okay. This is the first picture I will show you of a few. This is how the apartment was kept and how it was left.
And how it was left?
Yes.
Is that how you left the apartment, Miss Packer? Is that how you left the...
It must have been taken
Where would he
before
get that
I
stuff?
started, before I actually processed the moving out. Because there was a lot of stuff in my front room, but when I left, there wasn't that much stuff left in the front room.
Well, show me a picture of what was left.
I don't have it. I just was trying to get out as fast as I can.
Why? You had notice.
I had until the 30th, and by the time I got the notice, it was because I was house sitting for my best friend. I had about 5 days.
You were house sitting for your friend where?
Downtown Salt Lake. She was in Idaho.
Let me see the other pictures, please, Mr. Davis. Was all of that property left there?
Yes, it was. Would you like more pictures?
I'm talking about your pictures. Was all of the property in those 2 rooms that you're showing me, was all that property left there when she vacated the apartment?
Yes.
Can I see the rest, please? Did you leave the beds there?
Not the bunk bed. The bunk bed wasn't mine. The bed in my room and
I
the
just
bunk...
wanted to...
Okay, sorry.
What is that?
That's a broken sheetrock. The wall was kicked in the kitchen.
How did that happen, Miss Packer?
I was trying to sit
That's
down.
fresh. How did that...
I was trying to sit down, and I hit the wall too hard, and it broke. I didn't kick it in. I was trying to sit down, and I hit it too hard.
Let me see the next one. And the next. How many bedrooms are there in this basement apartment?
2.
Any other pictures you want to show me?
Sure. This shows furniture that was left outside of the apartment, which had actually been left out there for months before she moved out. I kept asking her to remove that, and it remained.
Okay, I don't care. I don't care about that. Now I'd like to see your paid bills to clean up the apartment, please, and to fix the wall.
Sure. Here is the receipt from who did the painting. It's $1,800, and it shows the date on which that was completed.
Next.
This is a paid invoice from did the cleanup and removal of leftover junk in
Okay, that's $533.
Right, with taxes, yes.
The bills that you show total $2,333. From that, I'm deducting her security deposit.
Well, there's more in
Which
bills
is
here. There's another $500 for the drywall repair, and then there's another $300.
He should have done that with the painting. Next.
Different people.
He should have done that with the painting. Okay. Next.
Okay, well,
Next.
that's the next one. Drywall. Okay, I don't have one for the carpet cleaning, so that's it for the bills.
Okay. Deducting from $2,330 security deposit, leaving $1,334 for the damage that you caused and the cleanup that clearly is absolutely outrageous. Now, you didn't pay rent for June or July.
Yes.
Why?
I didn't have money. I didn't have a job. I'm starting to work, and tomorrow, actually, is when I could finally get a job.
Did you apply for rent relief?
I don't know what that is.
I don't either in your state. Is there a rent relief?
I don't know because I didn't know about eviction court. This is the first time I lived on my own. I don't really know much.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
Mr. Nichols.
Yes.
Did you cut all 4 wigs?
I trimmed them. I didn't cut.
She didn't ask for a trim. She didn't ask for anything other than, can you flat iron and curl them? No cut. Why did you cut them?
Stephen Davis says former tenant Jade Packer stopped paying rent and moved out. He also claims Jade left the apartment damaged.
Okay. Now, Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Based upon the moratorium, and I haven't seen any prior cases with regards to the eviction moratorium, it's clear to me what I'm able to work, and it is COVID-related. You, as a landlord, cannot evict them. And I think that you knew that.
I didn't evict anyone.
Yes, you did, sir.
I put a pay or vacate.
You put a 3-day
eviction.
notice on. I understand that. You couldn't take it. It was impossible to take her to court, sir, because they would have thrown you out of court. You understand that. So you were relying on the tactic of saying to her, she says she's never lived on her own before. This was her first apartment, to say, if I put this up on her door, she's going to either get out or pay me. I don't think that you could do that. So I believe that she should have left the apartment in far more reasonable condition, but you're not getting your rent. You're getting $1,334. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's it. We're done. Thank you.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
The defendant owes me money for rent under Utah law.
I don't know if he was able to do what he did to me or not.
I can collect the amount of rent that I lost until...
I have no idea. I just know I couldn't pay rent.
The new tenant arrived, which was in September.
And then I had to make a decision for me and my son.
This was not a COVID-related incident.
I lost my job due to COVID.
She just refused to pay.
When he took those pictures, it was before I even got in there, too, because he changed the locks on me before I could even do anything.
And I just don't think it's Beirut in 1983.
All parties in the matter of Wilson versus Nichols. Step to the podium, please.
Teray Wilson is suing salon owner Reginald Nichols for damaging her wigs when he cut them without her permission.
Miss Wilson, you purchased 4 wigs and dropped them off at the defendant's home, I assume, to style them. Had he ever styled wigs for you before?
No, actually, he was my hairdresser. He has styled my own natural hair.
So when you bought these wigs, did you contact him to see whether he worked on wigs as well as natural hair?
Yes, I know for a fact I've seen him do wigs and sew-ins and glue-ins, so I know his history of doing wigs.
Okay, and from what you saw, his services were satisfactory?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I sent her a picture of them when they were ready.
He sent me a picture, and this is what he said. He said, the divas are ready, and I said laugh out loud because he called them divas.
When for the first time did you question him about why he cut them?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Teray Wilson is suing salon owner Reginald Nichols without her permission.
On what date did you purchase these 4 wigs?
April 29th, May 8th, and May 22nd.
Did you buy them online?
No, ma'am.
Where did you buy them?
There's a young lady in Sacramento. Her name is Tashana. She custom makes wigs out of raw Peruvian hair.
Do you have the receipt for payment for
yes,
the 4
ma'am.
wigs?
I have my bank statement because the way I pay her is through Zelle.
Okay. And how much were the 4 wigs that you purchased from her?
$375 a piece.
So they were $14.90.
Yes.
The last one that you purchased from her was on May 22nd. And you dropped all 4 of them off at the defendant's shop or home?
His residence, because he wasn't able to work in his shop because of the COVID.
On what date?
That was on July 17th.
Had anyone else styled the wigs before? You started buying them in April, then you bought some in May. Had anyone styled them other than the defendant?
No, just the young lady that custom made them for me. She's the only one that has touched them besides the defendant.
Had you worn them between April and the time that you dropped them off?
Each one maybe twice.
And you wore them the way they were?
Yes.
When you contacted the defendant about styling them, what did you tell him that you wanted him to do?
And I call him my hair husband, so I just asked him, could he flat iron and curl? No cut, just flat iron and curl.
May I see the message? So you dropped them off.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nichols,
Yes.
did you cut all 4 wigs?
I trimmed them. I didn't cut.
Well, cut, trim, you took a scissor to them.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, you're not allowed to do that. She was very specific. She said to you, hey, husband, if I bring you my wigs, can you curl and flat iron them? No cut, just curl. Why didn't you ask her? She didn't ask for a trim. She didn't ask for anything other than, can you flat iron and curl them? No cut. Why did you cut them? She wants her money back. She said, I wore them. I wore each of them twice. They were different. I wanted them just the way they were when I bought them. And now, because you gave them a trim, they're 4 different wigs. Why wouldn't you call her and say, you said no cut, do you want me to trim them? You communicate with her. Why would you do that?
I wasn't thinking.
Weren't thinking, okay. So not thinking is going to cost you $14.90, and she paid you $30 to cut them because she didn't see them because of COVID. She didn't come in. You didn't inspect them at the time that you picked them up.
No, I did not.
Is
I
that
waited
not true?
till I get home.
I sent her a picture of them when they were ready, and then I showed them to her on the head when I gave them to her when she pulled up in the car.
Is that true?
He sent me a picture, and if I can put it up here.
Yes, please.
Okay. This is what he said. He said the divas are ready, and I said laugh out loud because he called them divas. So when I got to his home, he brought them outside on a mannequin head, the mannequin heads that I gave him because I didn't know if he had any at home because of the COVID and the COVID that was going on. Mr. Nichols has a mom, an elderly mom at home. I did not want to stay there chit-chatting with him.
Okay, don't tell me the whole story.
Okay.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
So you saw them, you saw the photographs the same day that you picked them up.
Yes.
When for the first time did you question him about why he cut them?
The same day, like 7 minutes after I got home, we lived that close to each other.
Did you text him or call him?
I text him. And I do
May I
have the
see it,
text
please?
messages here as well.
I'd like... Did he answer you?
He did call me, and I was on the Zoom call, and I told him I was going to call him right back for my job. I called him back, no answer. I called him a few times, no answer, and then I texted him when I was at work and informed him that I needed to discuss with him the damaged wigs that were done, and he never responded to the text. So at that point, I contacted Small Claims Court and asked them, because I've never done this before, what do I do? And,
Got it.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $15.20.
Thank you.
We're done. Next time, think, Mr. Nichols.
Case concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
The dog ingested something.
He was in great pain. It's part of a rubber ball.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
The dog was in your care.
Judge Judy.
Well, I actually trimmed them, and I flat ironed them.
I was highly upset.
One of them was curly when I got it, and when I flat ironed it, it was uneven, so I just evened it.
He did something I asked him not to do.
Because some of them were uneven, and I just wanted to freshen them up.
I cussed my him out. I did.
She didn't say she didn't like them when I sent her the picture.
I'm done with them. I'm good. I'm going to donate them to charity. They can have them.
I'm saying that when you flat iron them, you get a different texture.
When I finally take these wigs down, he'll probably do my real hair.
Yeah, I don't have no animosity against him.
That's my hair husband. I don't have no hard feelings.
You were cooking out of your home for profit.
Was a social media comment in poor taste?
She said, please beware and don't purchase from her.
Do you have a food license to be able to cook and sell to the public?
No, I don't.
The judge has no appetite for dishonesty.
You knew you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house. You don't have a love affair with the truth.
This is Judge Judy. Colleen Fuller is suing Moshe Platt for defamation of character and loss of income after Moshe slandered her on Facebook.
Judge's case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Fuller versus Platt. Parties have been sworn in. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Fuller, this is what I gather from your complaint. Because of Governor Newsom in California, closed all restaurants to in-person dining indoors. But would you stop moving around, please? You're making me seasick.
Sorry.
And you belong to some sort of a food group. You posted, according to you, on your Facebook page, a statement, which I will look at. According to you, the statement indicated that you were going to be sort of a vigilante, and if you knew anyone who was breaking the rule and allowing for indoor dining, you were going to report them.
Correct.
Tell me exactly what you posted on your Facebook page. Read it to me.
Okay. It says, if I see any inside dining open, I'm calling OSHA, ABC, whoever I need to, point blank, period.
Okay, and that's all you said?
Yes.
As a result of that, the defendant, who you knew, you say called you.
She called me at my job. She didn't call my phone directly.
That's not true.
Well, just a second. Hold on a second. How would somebody that doesn't know you know where you work?
Because she's friends with my employer's daughter. And she called my employer's daughter and got the phone number that way.
Are you telling me that prior to receiving a call from her, you didn't know who she was?
I knew who she was, but when she called,
Okay.
that was the first conversation I've ever had with her in my life.
You knew who she was.
Yes.
Had you ever seen her before?
Yes.
Where had you seen her before?
I seen her one time at Food for Less.
And what was the defendant doing there?
Shopping.
So you were just two strangers shopping?
Yes.
Did you exchange any word, like a hello?
She did with my employer.
You mean you were just standing there?
Yes, I was loading groceries onto the belt to be rang up.
So aside from that one meeting where she was there and spoke to your employer, you had never seen her before or after?
No.
Did your employer introduce you to her?
No.
So she didn't know your name?
She did know my name.
Wow.
Because my sister,
Just a second.
Okay, sorry.
Just explain to me. I'm not getting, these are not two strangers that she called you up. I'm trying to get to the truth of it. You're making it difficult for me.
Okay, well, she knows who I am and I know who she is because our sisters used to be best friends about 15 years ago.
So according to you, that's the way you know her. Your sisters used to be best friends.
Yes.
Had you seen her 15 years ago?
No.
If your sisters were best friends?
No.
Never saw her?
No, I didn't
never
live with my
spoke to
sister
her?
when growing up. I didn't live with my sister growing up.
How do you know your sister?
Because I was around her sister. When she would hang out with my sister and sometimes I would be visiting with her, she would be there.
Her sister?
Yes.
So that there is a connection. I'm just trying to figure out how a person, because she's in the restaurant business.
Right.
And she, according to you, called you, you say, at your place of employment.
Yes.
And threatened you about this post that you put up on your Facebook page that you're going to report anybody that you see violating the rule about indoor dining to whomever will listen, whatever media outlet will listen, whatever governmental agency will listen.
Yes.
Subsequent to that phone call, which I'm sure was unpleasant, you decided to do some sort of a fundraiser. And your fundraiser was for whose benefit?
For my brother.
Why?
Because he has schizophrenia and he also has a substance abuse problem, and I was trying to raise money to get him into treatment.
Is that what you wrote in your fundraising advertising?
No, I didn't. I really didn't want to put his business out there like that.
So what did you say?
I have the poster right here, what I had, if you would like me to read it to you.
Sure.
Okay. It says, all homemade, delicious chili beans and white rice and cornbread and fried chicken. Can also put crabs and $10 a plate or 2 for $15. I can also deliver for free. And then I posted pictures.
Just a second. It doesn't say that you're doing it for anything other than yourself. It
Right.
doesn't say anything about fundraiser.
It doesn't say anything,
It doesn't
but that's
say
what
anything.
it was for.
I don't care what you're selling me now it was for, because I believe that that's probably a whole lot of baloney. So what you were doing is you were cooking out of your home for commercial sale for profit. That's what you were advertising. $10 a plate or 2 for $15. You advertised what it was. According to you, you had lots of orders and you made $300 and people would come to your house and pick up the food. Is that what the idea was?
Yes, I was delivering actually.
Okay. You made about, according to you, about $300 when the defendant posted on her Facebook page what you consider a defamatory statement.
Yes.
About what you were doing, making and selling food for profit out of your home. And you want to tell me what she said about you, because that's the basis of your lawsuit.
Right.
What did she say?
Would you like me to read the whole post or just the part that the whole thing?
Yeah, is it very long? This is only a half-hour program.
Okay, I'll just read you this part. So she said that can kill with 1 drop of blood, so please beware and don't purchase from her. And she posted pictures of my comment and my post that I made selling the food along with that statement.
Okay, put it up so I can read the whole thing now. Now put it up on the evidence. Can I see the replies?
I don't think I have the replies for that post.
Just a second. Well, would you tell me where she mentions your name?
My name is right here and right here. She posted pictures of my picture with my name right next to it with the stuff that I posted along with what she said.
Yeah, I think you could probably put, but that says under replies.
Oh.
Is that what you posted, Miss Platt? Miss Platt?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did write this.
So I saw that you wrote it. I'm asking you, you posted, it says under replies, you posted.
Yes, I did post, but underneath the replies, this is from Madeira to Go. Those where you see it says replies, that is from the Madeira to Go group page that we had. That's not the replies from the Madeira online garage sale. There was no replies coming from me. It was just other people replying, call OSHA or whatever.
I'm just saying, I don't know who posted that.
If I may, ma'am?
No.
Okay.
I'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
I'm looking at her statement.
Mm-hmm. If I can clear up where it says replies, Your Honor, that's a screenshot of what I had posted originally saying I would call OSHA on people.
I understand. I understand that.
So she put my comment that I had made about calling OSHA on people along with my post of selling food with the statement that she said all in one post. She added the screenshots as pictures.
Correct.
Did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I just want to make certain that there's a tie-in. Okay. So the only problem that she has is, just FYI, someone has a very serious health issue that can kill with a drop of blood, so please beware and don't purchase from her. You all be safe. So the someone that she's talking about, even though she posted your picture, you want me to tie the two in together, the someone, even though she doesn't mention your name.
Yeah, well, it's kind of goes hand in hand. If you put my picture and saying this, and saying what she said, the person reading it would believe that she's talking about me.
I could have a food license to be able to cook and sell to the public?
No, I don't.
Do you have a cottage license, which allows you to cook certain things in your house, that your house has been inspected?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
No.
So that you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house during COVID.
Yes.
And you knew you were breaking the law when you were cooking and selling food out of your house with COVID. I want you to understand that I'm not buying the sick brother story.
I actually have proof that my brother, he was put in an institution because he has schizophrenia and substance abuse. I wouldn't lie about that, Your Honor.
Just a second. I'm not questioning whether your brother is sick. I'm questioning whether you paid for it from the food you were making.
Well, he was put on a 5150 hold, so nobody paid for it. But what I'm saying is I couldn't even put him in a drug treatment program because everything I was doing was stopped.
Let me tell you that you didn't use this $300 for your brother. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't believe that. And you're saying to me, well, that's true, but I would have if I could have, if they let me. But instead, I used the $300 for myself. What you were doing is for profit.
I did not use it for myself.
For profit, out of license during COVID.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't like people who come to court and skirt around the truth, have a difficult time addressing and greeting the truth. That's a very hard thing for me.
Colleen Fuller says Moshe Platt slandered her on Facebook, causing her to lose income. Moshe is countersuing also for loss of income and harassment.
Now, who do you live with?
Myself.
Who do you work for?
I work for in-home support services.
So you see different people all the time?
No, I just have one client.
Well, you stay with one. You have the same client now?
Yes, I've had for 8 years.
As part of your work responsibility, just so that I know, how often are you COVID tested?
I get tested once every 2 weeks.
Okay, now, I'm going to turn to you for a second. So I get the gist of it. What your countersuit is, which is ridiculous, which I'm not even entertaining, you say because she posted that post about in-room dining, I was forced to temporarily close my business, and people threatened me on social media. Whatever, she didn't name you, according to what she read to me.
Okay, so...
Unless you're telling me, just a second.
Okay.
Did she write anything specific about you on her Facebook page?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'd like to see what she specifically wrote about you.
Okay, so, because I know you have 30 minutes to do the show, I was sleeping and I woke up to a text message with a screenshot saying that, hey, are you okay, cousin? And I was like, yes. And I said, why?
Just, hey.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you to show me something, not speak.
Okay.
I said, show me what she said about you.
Right there, ma'am. It says Brianne Fuller, which I'm also assuming that it's her other account because I didn't speak to anyone else.
So why? Just a second. I want you to show me her original post.
This is the...
I don't care about that.
That is the original post. She said she spoke to that black Moshe Robinson, and she called and said about...
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay,
I don't
not
care
a problem.
about that. That's nonsense.
And then
That's
I have
nonsense.
text messages as well.
That's a nonsense.
I do have text messages if you want proof of that as well.
Shh. Just a second. I'm dismissing the part of your complaint that has to do with defamation. There's no defamation. It's just nasty speak. Okay. Which I'm going to get rid of, is for harassment for $2,000. I want you to pick the worst text message she sent to you. The worst. Pick the worst text message she sent to you.
So this is the text messages.
Don't speak. Don't speak. Just put it up on the evidence board.
Okay, here is... She was using my uncle's stuff, so... Sorry. There's like a long list of them.
No, would you do me a favor? I said to you, pay attention. The worst text message she sent. Okay.
And I have another one. Would you like to see them?
Sure.
Okay.
Show me the other one.
And then
Show me the other one. That's not a
threat. This one right here is from my uncle's cell phone, which she called me from, which I have the screenshots of that as well. Watch the turnout. And I said, is that a threat to me? And that one here. And then on social media, she said she was going to slap me. It's right there in...
Okay. Very good. Very good. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Now let's get back to what we're really talking about. You're going to explain to me if you wrote she has a disease that if people came in contact with even one drop of her blood, it could kill them. What did you write?
It says someone. It does not say her because I didn't want to put my family member on blast because they do live together. That is the reason why I said someone.
Are you telling me that the person, because in your answer says it's your uncle.
Yes.
Lives with her?
Yes.
Now?
Yes. When I had spoken to him on the phone, I said, do you know a Colleen Fuller? And she's carrying his last name, okay? So I said, do you know her? And his reply was, yes, I know her. I said, is that your wife? Is that your girlfriend? And he was like, well, we're not together anymore, but she does live here with me.
That's a lie.
That is very correct. I have no reason to lie.
Just a second. Your uncle says she's not my girlfriend anymore.
Lie.
But she still lives here with me?
Correct. And he said that she's her own woman and she could speak for herself. Would you like to speak to her? I said yes.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
You have your uncle's phone number?
Yes, ma'am.
Give it to me.
559.
And just tell me his first name. You want me to make this call?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're coming to court with unclean hands.
But I'm not
You
talking about
broke?
the part that she's saying that I'm selling food. I'm just talking about the disease part.
I don't care.
Nobody said you had a disease.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Colleen Fuller is accusing Moshe Platt of slandering her on Facebook, causing her to lose income.
Okay. Number's been disconnected. Let's try it again.
Your Honor, that's the correct
559.
number. 559. I said that's the correct number. 559 is his phone number.
Okay. So you know her uncle?
He's my employer. I've been working for him through in-home support for 8 years. But I've never
Just a
dated this
second.
gentleman, ever.
Oh, now I got it.
If you could please make that call, he can clear everything up.
Just a second. Why didn't you just tell me that instead of saying my employer?
He's not her uncle. He even asked me, why does she keep calling me her uncle? And I'm not related to her, no way, shape, or form. That's what he told
My
me.
cousin is Ebony.
All right, just a second. I'm going to make this very simple for myself.
Okay.
Because I don't like people who come to court and skirt around the truth, have a difficult time addressing and greeting the truth. That's a very hard thing for me. But I don't even have to reach the point whether I think that she defamed you. You were operating out of your home an illegal food operation during a pandemic, exposing the public.
Nation part that I'm talking about is not...
Let's understand each other.
I understand you,
Let's
Your Honor.
understand each other.
I do.
Let's understand me. You're coming to court with unclean hands. Your unclean hands are you broke the law.
But I'm not talking about the part that she's saying that I'm selling food. I'm just talking about the disease part.
Nobody said you had a disease.
I don't care. What you are...
Yes, ma'am.
What you are asking the court is for help, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You're asking the court for help. And you're coming to court having broken the law with relation to the same incident. And I'm not helping you because you don't have a love affair with the truth.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Are you the victim of an assault? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, if you had said to me, listen, I know, put your hand down.
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down.
Yes, ma'am.
If you had said to me, I know her, this is how I know her. I worked for a man for 8 years who she keeps calling her uncle. I don't think it's her uncle. And she used to be best friends. I had to pull it out of you. She used to be best friends with my sister.
Her sister.
Goodbye. We're done.
But you're not letting me explain my case.
Hands.
If you would let me
Goodbye.
explain,
We're
please.
done. I heard enough. That's it.
But
What about my lost wages, ma'am?
I'm telling the truth, Your
What
Honor.
about my lost wages, ma'am? I lost business because of her.
If you could call my employer, he could tell you.
I dismissed your counterclaim. You weren't paying attention. You were too busy talking.
I had to pay back $4,000 for my customer.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I was in jail for the assault.
There was 2 assaults.
It was a bad idea to bring back her ex.
How did she cut her arm, Mr. Simple?
Daniel pushed me.
Judge Judy.
The comment that I had posted on Facebook, she took personally. It was nothing directed towards her.
She came for me and she came for.
It wasn't directed towards her because she doesn't have inside dining.
Someone is a fraud like her who could sit there and point the finger, but you're doing the most.
I just hope she doesn't defame anybody else and get sued again.
She got what she deserves.
What were you doing driving it without insurance?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know.
Unsafe and out of control.
Left, right, I'm holding the wheel. I hit the mailboxes. I swerved to the left again.
And an unseen victim is mourned.
Your car hit her dog and killed her dog.
This is Judge Judy. 18-year-old Kevin Rodriguez is suing Lacey Migliori for damages to his car after he hit her unleashed dog.
Judge, this is case number 150 on the calendar in the matter of Rodriguez versus Migliori. Parties have been sworn in. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Thanks, Bird. Mr. Rodriguez, it is your claim that the defendant's dog, while out of her control, caused an accident with your car, which damaged your car. Your car hit the defendant's dog and killed the defendant's dog. But then it is your claim that after that impact, you lost control of the car, causing damage to the car because you crashed into something else. The defendant says that while she did not see this incident, is that correct?
That's correct.
That the dog was on their fenced property when this incident happened. You lost control of your car. You crashed through the fence in the house where the dog was. I don't know if it's your house or not, but it was the dog was in a fenced area. Just that the dog was killed on property. Is it your property or someone else's?
We were displaced from the creek fire, and we were staying with my Nana at my Nana's house.
Okay. Is that your grandmother?
Yes.
So it as ostensibly, for all intents and purposes, at her house. She says that the dog was killed on the property where she was staying, and it was fenced property, and your car broke through the fence and killed her dog. That's your statement, although you didn't see the incident happen.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. This incident happened on what date, Mr. Rodriguez?
On September 20th, 2020.
What time?
It was around 6 p.m.
6 p.m., and you live in California?
Yes.
So is it dusk at that time?
Yeah, I could say it was dusk.
Tell me what happened, sir.
Okay, so on September 20th, I was driving to my friend's house.
Look at me. Don't look at...
Don't look at none of this?
Don't look at your papers.
Okay.
I want you to look at me and tell me what happened so I can look in your eyes.
Okay. So on September 20th, 2020, I was going to a friend's house. I live in Clovis, so that's about 18 minutes away from my friend's house. So there's a street on Sanger that you have to go on. It's called Academy.
Could you look at me?
Yeah. I was going on Academy to go to my friend's house. I turn right on Shields. I see a school pass by. So I think, oh, in my head, go a little faster, after we pass the school.
There's a school.
There's a...
Look at me. Don't look down. Look up. You saw a school.
Yes.
Okay. And this was 6 o'clock, so did you just say you decided to go faster?
Well, because I passed the school, so the speed limit it's the regular speed limit, right? After you pass the school.
Okay, so you had slowed down?
Yeah, when it was at the school, I slowed down because I saw the 25, right, speed limit. I passed by, I saw that it was 55. I speeded up.
Look at me. Don't look down.
Sorry, I'm
sorry.
Look at me. I speeded up, and then I was passing a couple houses, and then right at when I got to the defendant's house, out of nowhere, I was just driving, I was 55 miles per hour. I was driving normally, right? Out of nowhere, I heard a big bang. Bang, and then I just swerve. Go left, right, I'm holding the wheel, trying to,
I got it.
Try to gain control, And I just keep swerving, and then I finally get to the mailboxes. I pass the street that was right here, and then there's the mailboxes at a different person's house. I hit the mailboxes again, and then at some point I just braked, and I was able to go to the side of the road, and I saw a few people come back behind me. There was a truck with 2 gentlemen. They told me that I hit something big.
Don't tell me what they told you.
Okay.
Did you get out of the car?
Yes.
Did you get out of the car?
I got out
assume you got out of the car.
After the incident, I got out the car, and I saw the defendant.
Could you, just a second. So what you're saying is that the dog hit the side of your car, or did you run over the dog?
So it hit the right side of the car because on the pictures, you could actually see where the impact was. So
I'd like to see the picture,
okay.
Please.
It's right here. Right here, you could see. Right here was the impact.
Okay. This is a residential area, yes. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Do you have a photograph of where it says in this residential area it's a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit?
I do not, but on the report it says I was going on the speed limit 55.
Oh,
yeah.
So the report says it's a 55 speed limit. Okay.
Would you like to see that?
I would. Thank you. Okay, could you go to summary, please? I'd like to see the summary. Thank you. Okay, is there any other part of that report?
Yes, there is one more page.
I'd like to see it. Did you speak to the police that day, Miss Migliori?
I did. He wasn't very nice.
I didn't ask you. Just a second. Just answer my question. Did you speak to the police? The answer is yes.
Yes.
When you spoke to the police, was the dog's body still in the road?
No, the dog's body was never in the road. The dog's body was wrapped around a pole and in the barbed wire fence.
Just a second. The dog's body, show me so that I understand where you say the dog's body was.
Her body was wrapped around this pole, and her whole chest was cut open by the barbed wire. So her head was this way, pointing towards the road. No. And then the back of her body was...
I know that's what you're telling me. Who you were staying?
Yes.
And is what you're saying his car came through there?
Well, she's
not a well. Is what you're saying that the car came through that fence? So now I would like to see a picture of the downed fence. The downed fence.
The fence wasn't down.
Well, the fence had to be downed if you crashed through the fence. Well, his car didn't fit in between the slats.
Right.
So the fence had to be down. That's what you wrote here, that he came through.
Right.
He came through the fence. So if you're telling me that the fence didn't come down, that means that the car didn't go through the slats of that fence, because you would have taken a picture of the down fence.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Can you show me a picture when you finally got out, Mr. Rodriguez, because now she's playing with me. When you finally got out of your car, you went back to where the dog was?
I did, yes.
And where was the dog?
So the defendant's family came running to me after the...
No. Where was the dog?
The dog was with the defendant.
With the defendant?
Yes.
So when you hit the dog didn't die immediately?
I believe it died immediately.
You say the dog was with the defendant. Where was the defendant and the dog?
Defendant was with the dog after the incident.
Where physically?
Oh, where?
In a yard, in a street?
Oh, it was right at the side of the road. I saw the fence right there, but I did not hit any fence or nothing. I didn't...
No, a fence didn't go down. That was a lot of baloney. And your car didn't go through the fence because it would have to be a very, very, very thin car. And it was not a very thin car. So she was sitting at the fence on the other side, on the street side of the fence with the dog?
Yeah, I think she was sitting with her dog after the incident happened. And she seemed really sad.
Upset?
Upset, yeah.
Well, understandably.
I understand, yeah.
Okay, now, can I see, please, estimates for the damage to your car?
Yes, I have the receipts right here, actually. I believe there's 2 pages.
And you had the car?
Yeah, we had the car fixed already.
How much was it to fix the car?
The grand total was...
This is 2011 Acura?
Yeah.
The grand total was $4,600?
Yes.
You have insurance?
Yes, now I do, yes.
Did you have then?
So,
So the answer is either yes or no. Nor liability?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In what month and year did your insurance lapse?
On July.
What were you doing driving it without insurance?
The insurance...
Don't give me baloney that you didn't get notified. I don't believe it.
And later today...
Believe it or not, even with these relatively short legs, my father thought I could be a ballerina at one point in my life. When I stopped growing, he was quickly disabused of that notion.
Closed captioning is provided by Kevin Rodriguez says Lacey Migliori is responsible for damage to his car after he struck and killed her unleashed dog.
Okay. How long have you had this 2011 Acura?
I want to say more than 8 years, 7, 8 years.
And in what month and year did your insurance lapse?
On July.
What were you doing driving it without insurance?
The insurance...
Don't give me baloney that you didn't get notified. I don't believe it.
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know. I had took the car. I just want to go to...
Is the car in your name?
The car is under
the
my
car in
aunt's
your
name.
name?
Under my aunt's name. Yeah.
Gets better all the time. Okay, your case is dismissed, Mr. Rodriguez. You don't come to court and ask for a court's help when you don't have clean hands. Clean hands. Otherwise, she would have paid for the damage to your car because it was her responsibility, actually, to take care of her dog and make sure that her dog didn't cause any injury. That was her responsibility. But it is the height of what we say in French, chutzpah, to come to court and ask a court to help you when you've been doing the wrong thing for at least 2 months, driving a car without insurance. If you hit somebody and kill them, they would have nobody to sue. You would say, it's not even my car, it's my aunt's car. Goodbye, Mr. Rodriguez. Get insurance. Goodbye, thank you very much. You're very lucky, Ms. Migliori.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
Dog out of nowhere. Swerve. Scared out of my mind.
I feel like he swerved into my dog because he wasn't paying attention.
I will pay more attention.
I was over her body crying, and the first thing he says to me was, "You're gonna pay me, right?"
I now have insurance, so...
If I ever get another dog, and make sure that she's on a leash.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ely versus...
Amber Ely is suing the mother of a former student, Jennifer Ladd, for unpaid tuition and recital fees.
Miss Ely, you have a dancing school. Miss Ladd's daughter was a student of yours, and it is your claim that Miss Ladd owes you for several months of schooling that you gave to her daughter, and also for some costumes in a recital that they did. Miss Ladd says, I don't know what she says. I'm not exactly sure. When did your daughter enroll in Miss Eli's school?
3 years ago.
And what is the cost per month or per year?
It varies. It's $60 a month.
Okay, is that what you were paying 3 years ago?
Yes.
When did your daughter leave the school?
June 29th.
And she goes once a week?
Yes.
I know a little bit about dancing school and recitals and stuff, even from my own growing up days, because believe it or not, even with these relatively short legs, my father thought I could be a ballerina at one point in my life. When I stopped growing, he was quickly disabused of that notion. But not before I spent many, many years at Miss Nottage's dancing school, so I'm aware of the way dancing schools work.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All she had to do is bring the
Give her the debit card.
Sit. She knows how to speak English as her primary language.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dance teacher Amber Ely says the mother of a former student, Jennifer Ladd, owes for unpaid tuition and recital fees.
Now, I know a little bit about dancing school and recitals. You sort of work all year, and at some point the kids put on a recital and they get nice costumes and everybody comes and takes pictures. Now they take them with iPhones. They used to take them with huge cameras. You have to sit through what is boring for most people, except when their child is on stage or their grandchild is on stage, being a tomato or a fairy or a moon or a sun or whatever it is. I also know that you pay additionally for those costumes and sometimes for the tickets or whatever. It's a way of the school making additional money. Was your daughter in a recital in the first year that she was there?
Yes, she was.
And did you buy a costume?
Yes.
And was she in a recital the second year you were there?
No.
Was she in a recital the third year she was there?
Yes.
Did you buy her costume?
Yes.
Did you pay for it?
No.
It's going to be much easier this way. That's part of her lawsuit. And your daughter did use the costume. Do you know how much she charged for the costume?
The total bill that month was $400.
How much was the costume?
The costumes were $210. She wore 3 of them.
Okay, so that's $210, and they were not paid for.
No.
Got it. She says they were not paid for. And what month's tuition of $60 do you claim she did not pay?
It's actually $65 a month. And she owes a registration fee. She paid the registration fee. She came in November.
Just answer my question, please.
April,
what
May,
months?
June. April, May, and June.
Was she in class April, May, and June?
Yes.
When was the recital?
June 29th.
And she participated in that?
Absolutely.
Why didn't you pay April, May, and June off for the costumes?
I gave her my debit card, and she said I was all set when I was in the dance studio when I paid my bill. 2 months later, she called me back and said my credit card machine wasn't working. And I said, so...
Now, Miss Ladd,
sorry.
Before you get yourself really in a pickle,
right?
Did you pay her?
Yes.
Pay her?
Yes.
For April, May, and June. Either $60 or $65 was taken out. April, May, and June, and then we resolve it. Then you only owe her the $210 for the costume. Just show me your debit card.
Well...
Not a well. That's a very easy thing to show.
I paid cash.
No, you said you gave her your debit card.
That was for the big bill that she told me I owed.
So the answer is you don't have proof that you paid her for April, May, and June. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Great.
I have a receipt
Fine.
here for...
Do you have a receipt for April, May, and June?
No, sorry, this was for July.
Can I say something?
Who are you?
I'm her friend. I've taken her daughter back and forth to the dance and...
Listen to me, stand up. This is why you can't say anything.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by Real Cases, Real People. Judge Judy. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Listen to me. She's already admitted that she didn't pay for the costumes. She knows she's supposed to pay for the costumes. She's paid for the costumes before, and her daughter used the costumes. That's $210. Plaintiff says she, despite the fact that she was in the school for 3 April, May, and June. Very easy. You don't know what she signed in her answer. I have it right here.
Well, I mean...
Listen to me carefully. All she had to do is bring the debit card, register, that indicates April, May, and June paid. Either $60 or $65 a month.
Well, she tried to. She gave her the debit card.
Sit. She knows how to speak. English is her primary language. You owe her $405.
Yes.
That's $210 for the costume.
Yes.
And the balance is for April, May, and June.
Yes.
Your daughter no longer goes to the school?
No.
Good. Thanks. Bye.
Excuse me, step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is a lecture, and I don't want you to interrupt me.
I get mad because...
What part of don't interrupt me don't you understand? You are not going to overtalk me, ever.
Judge Judy.
I thought it was very fair. There's a lot of other things that she does owe me for, which is I'm just going to kind of wash it as of now.
A lot of miscommunication in the dance studio for the 3 years. Not with just me, with a lot of other moms as well.
I have parents that take it out on me because they
lost all of her clients. She lost all of her students.
I didn't lose any students.
She wasn't learning anything.
I did enjoy Bella as a student, but she wasn't consistent. She wasn't in every week like the other children.
When you go and you have your child in a dance class, you expect them to learn something. After 3 years, nothing was taught.
I did hire a teacher to teach her daughter in the back of the room so she would be ready for the recital after missing a few months. I usually don't do that. So she should be thanking me instead of upset that she owes me money.
She'll dance somewhere else.